Hey, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Steve Schiller here from HeroHeroes.com. 20 years ago today, almost to the hour, I guess, getting close anyway. I got hit standing on the flight line next to my helicopter. I was pre-flighting my Kaya Warrior, getting ready to go on a flight. Matter of fact, I was going to take one of the Debrief commanders up for a recon of his area. So I was going to fly up there, single pilot, pick him up and fly him around. But he, before any of that happened, I was there pre-flighting a helicopter with one of my crew chiefs, and they'd started lobbing rockets at us, and one hit just off to my right-hand side. Probably 10, 15 feet away. I remember it like it was yesterday. I just remember hearing a huge explosion, and I turned around. But I'd already been hit. It felt like someone hit me with a baseball bat as hard as they could, and I kind of turned around thinking someone was just messing around with me. That's kind of what it felt like. And I turned and I was like, what the hell just happened? And it landed next to a couple of our rockets who were actually sitting on the ground. So I thought maybe one of our 275s went off. But there was a bunch of other rockets going off all around us. And I started to walk away and to go to cover. That was like my natural reaction was we had a couple of small bunkers we put out there on the flight line for just that purpose. So I started to walk over to that. The crew chief started running over there, and I ended up hitting the ground because I couldn't walk. It hit me right in the hip. I can remember the crew chief coming back to me, and he was going crazy. He's like, wasn't thinking too straight. He was kind of in a panic, probably more so that I got hit than anything else. He ended up kind of freaking out, and I was just laying on the ground. I remember looking at my hip, and it was bleeding, not really bad, but I just said, "Hey man, go to the helicopter and get the first aid kit out of the helicopter." So that he did, and then this other guy, I can't remember either one of their names. It's pretty bad, but man, it was a long time ago. He had just got done with a combat lifesaver course, and he had a presence of mind about him. He was kind of not freaking out. And I just told him, man, just put the gauze on there and press down to keep the bleeding down, and hurt like the dickens. Anyway, the mortar attack was over. A bunch of folks came around, and I can remember my XO, Ken Hawley. He comes over and he goes, "Oh man, looks like just a little scrape, sir. You're gonna be all right." I'm like, just a scrape. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got hit really blunt hard. Anyway, they got a Humvee. They threw me in the back of the Humvee, and boy, did that hurt. I'd never felt any pain like that before. And then they drove me down to the aid station, which was one of the support battalions had an aid station. They drove me down there, and man, I can remember every bump in the road was excruciating pain. And it was an Iraqi road, so you can imagine how many bumps that had in it. Anyway, they took me there for a little while. They didn't know what quite to do. They were just going to sew it up, and then someone decided it would be a good idea to take an x-ray. So they took an x-ray, and they're like, holy crap, you got shrapnel still inside you. So the doc made arrangements for a medevac to fly me up to Mosul. And that's what they did. They threw me in the back of a helicopter, flew me to Mosul. Went to the Mosul Cash Hospital, Combat Army Support Hospital there, and had a surgeon there that went ahead and put me to sleep and pulled out a hunk of shrapnel, probably about the size of my thumb. She said it hit my hip bone, and it lodged itself in next to the femoral artery. She said about another eighth of an inch, and you'd been bled out and dead. So that was it. 20 years ago today, 23rd December. I remember the 24th, General Petraeus came and gave me a Purple Heart and had a good discussion with him. And I don't know, I can't remember how long. I was in there for a few days, and then I went back to the squadron and hobbled around for a couple weeks, so I went back for a second surgery sometime in January. But that's it. That's the story. 20 years ago today. I feel pretty fortunate and lucky and blessed, not only because I survived that, but survived a lot of other combat experiences that for some reason they didn't get me. Just grateful for all of that and all the soldiers that I served with. They were amazing. Cav guys they just were fantastic. So yeah, go to HeroHeroes.com. Give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for listening, folks. See you next time.
Eagle 6, Sabre 6, spot report.